Hey guys, this is our coffee design video in section A09. We'll start by explaining the process flow diagram. We started with 120 grams of Peru beans, which we put into the hot air roaster at fan speed 9, power 7, and time 8. It used 0.22 kilowatt hour of power, and it produced 101 grams of roasted beans and some leftover chaff. We then put 50 grams of the beans to use in the competition and 51 grams of it in storage. Then we grinded the beans at grind size 8, which used 0 kilowatt hour of power, and we started heating the water, which we put 900 grams of water into the kettle, and the kettle heated the water from 27 Celsius to 88 Celsius, and it used 0.06 kilowatt hour of power. Then we actually used 2 clever drippers for this process. We put 450 grams of hot water into each clever dripper, and we put 25 grams of grinded beans into each clever dripper. Then we allowed 5 minutes of extraction time, and it gave us a 18:1 brew ratio. We then dripped the brew into the tasting kettle, which by itself weighs 607.8 grams, and the field kettle weighs 1,352.6 grams, which means we made 744.8 grams of brew. We set the hot air roaster to fan speed 9, power to 7, and time 8, which gave us about 101 grams of roasted coffee beans. We used 25 grams for the first batch of brewing, and we put it in the grinder to grind size 8. And the grinder was surprisingly efficient. It used 0 kilowatt hours of power according to the kilowatt meter. We then started preparing hot water for the brewing, and we started by heating up about 480 grams of water to 88 degrees, and it used 0.04 kilowatt hours of power. But then we agreed that it wouldn't be enough water to brew the amount of coffee we wanted, so we heated up another batch later, and the total power consumption came out to be around 0.06 kilowatt hour, and the total weight came out to be around 900 grams. Here we saw a big chunk of grounds in the dripper, so I started stirring it up. And I think this is what made my coffee well extracted in the end and helped us win the competition. Here we prepared the second batch of coffee to put in the second clever dripper. We had 450 grams of hot water and 25 grams of grounds in both of the clever drippers, so they came out to be the same coffee and the same 18:1 brew ratio. We then poured the finished brew from the glasses to the empty tasting kettle, and we calibrated the scale so we will weigh the brew easier, and we got 744.8 grams of total brew in the end. I then measured the TDS, which turned out to be 1.45, and honestly, I didn't really expect it to be this high. We first tried to go for a tea-like and floral type of coffee, but I think when I tried to stir it up in the clever dripper, it came out to be extracted really well, and since I got about 21% extraction yield and a 1.45 TDS, it came to be in this zone, which kind of balances out the flavors, and the 18:1 brew ratio also gave it a roasted taste, and that's why I think our coffee ended up tasting pretty good and winning the competition, because we had the classic standard taste with a bit of roasted notes. Our coffee had this roasted hazelnut with smoky dark chocolate kind of smell, and while we weren't the most energy efficient in the brewing process, we had a blind taste test score of 22.33, which made us first place in the competition and gave us 15 bonus points. So we're pretty satisfied with the results. To solve the energy efficiency issues, we'll probably use less coffee beans next time, since the roaster was the least energy efficient equipment of them all. So using the roaster less will probably mean that we will have better energy efficiency. But our coffee tasted pretty good, so we'll keep the same brew ratio.